lucky person. You got the number right, because you are talking to Kid a Dyn-o-mite!
At 78, Jimmie Walker finally tells the truth about Esther Rolle. Jimmie Walker was born James Carter Walker, Jr. on June 25, 1947, in the Bronx, New York. Raised in the challenging urban environment of New York City's South Bronx during the 1950s and 60s, Walker's early years were marked by economic hardship, a reality that would later inform his comedic voice and lend authenticity to his portrayals of working-class life. His mother, Lorena, worked as the head nurse of a local hospital, while his father, James Sr., held various jobs and was largely absent from his life. The struggle of his early childhood helped shape his resilience, discipline, and strong work ethic. Walker's education came not only from the classroom but also from the vibrant, often harsh streets of New York. He attended Theodore Roosevelt High School and showed a keen interest in electronics, eventually studying at the RCA Technical Institute through a federal program. Before finding fame, he worked as a radio engineer, demonstrating a deep curiosity for how things worked, a quality that would later show up in the technical aspects of his performances, timing, and delivery. Jimmie's foray into show business came through stand-up comedy during the early 1970s, when he performed at various clubs in New York City. His style was energetic, quick-witted, and unabashedly observational. He quickly became a favorite in the rising black comedy circuit, which was then gaining traction through venues like the Apollo Theater and TV showcases such as The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, and Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. His magnetic personality and comedic timing captured the attention of television producers, and soon he landed the role that would forever define his career, James J. Evans, Jr. on the hit CBS sitcom Good Times. Airing from 1974 to 1979, Good Times was one of the first network shows to focus on a black working-class family living in the Chicago housing projects. Walker's portrayal of JJ, a skinny, fast-talking, aspiring artist with a larger-than-life personality, made him an instant sensation. His catchphrase, Dyn-o-mite, became a national cultural phenomenon, repeated in households across America and etched into the annals of television history. His comedic charisma and physical expressiveness turned JJ into a breakout character, elevating Walker to stardom and securing his place in pop culture. Despite his success, Walker's time on Good Times was not without conflict. As the show progressed, tensions emerged between him and co-stars, particularly Esther Rolle and John Amos, who felt that the focus on JJ's antics undermined the show's original intent to portray a serious, socially conscious depiction of African-American life. Rolle and Amos were concerned that the show had shifted from realism to caricature, though Walker himself believed in the power of comedy to reach broad audiences. While these disagreements created a sometimes tense on-set atmosphere, Walker continued to deliver memorable performances and maintained a professional approach to his role. Following the end of Good Times, Jimmie Walker faced the challenge of typecasting, a common plight for actors who become too closely associated with a single iconic character. Nevertheless, he continued to work steadily in stand-up comedy, which remained his first love. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Walker toured nationally, performing to sold-out clubs and developing a loyal fan base. He also made guest appearances on numerous television shows, including The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, The Drew Carey Show, and Everybody Hates Chris, often bringing a nostalgic charm to his performances. In addition to his work on stage and screen, Walker became a prominent voice in political and cultural discussions. Known for his independent thinking, he has often identified as a conservative, a stance that has occasionally placed him at odds with other entertainers. He has made appearances on talk shows and news programs, offering candid commentary on race, politics, and entertainment, often in a style as bold and unfiltered as his comedic routines. He published a memoir in 2012 titled Dyn-o-mite, Good Times, Bad Times, Our Times, in which he candidly recounted his upbringing, his rise to fame, and the complexities of navigating show business. In 2010, Jimmie Walker, best known for his iconic role as J.J. Evans on the 1970s sitcom Good Times, made a brief but memorable cameo appearance in the offbeat comedy film Big Money Rustlers. The movie, a Western-themed spoof produced by the Insane Clown Posse, featured a variety of colorful and unconventional characters in a surreal Old West setting. Walker's appearance, though short, brought a touch of nostalgic energy and veteran star power to the film. His participation was a nod to fans who remembered him from his television heyday, and his involvement in such a cult-style comedy illustrated his enduring willingness to step outside conventional roles and experiment with eccentric projects that embraced the absurd and the unconventional. In 2011, continuing his streak of unconventional appearances, Walker took part in the Sci-Fi Channel's over-the-top creature feature, Super Shark. This science fiction movie, emblematic of sci-fi's campy and deliberately outlandish programming during that era, told the story of a massive, mutated shark that could not only swim but also leap on land and attack tanks. Walker played a supporting role in the film, bringing his recognizable charm and comic timing to a project that thrived on its absurdity and B-movie flair. His appearance added a layer of fun nostalgia to the film, as viewers who had grown up watching him on TV now saw him embrace the absurdities of modern cable horror with self-awareness and a clear sense of humor. More than a decade later, on May 4, 2023, Walker surprised fans once again with a guest appearance on the long-running CBS daytime soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. Though known primarily for his work in comedy, Walker's dramatic guest spot marked an interesting departure, showcasing his versatility and enduring presence in the entertainment industry. His role, while limited in screen time, generated considerable attention from both longtime viewers of the soap and nostalgic fans of Walker himself. The casting decision reflected the show's desire to integrate veteran actors into its ongoing storyline, and Walker's appearance added both charm and unexpected energy to the episode. In addition to his on-screen work, 2012 marked a significant milestone in Walker's career as he turned his attention to literature with the release of his autobiography, Dyn-o-mite, Good Times, Bad Times, Our Times, a memoir. The book offered a candid and introspective look at his life and career, detailing his rise from a challenging childhood in the Bronx to stardom in one of television's most memorable sitcoms. In the memoir, Walker opened up about his experiences in the entertainment industry, his complicated relationship with fame, and his views on race, politics, and show business. He did not shy away from discussing the tensions that existed behind the scenes of Good Times, including his famously strained relationship with co-star Esther Rolle. The memoir was praised for its honesty, humor, and insight into both Walker's personal journey and the broader landscape of American television during the 1970s. Also in 2012, demonstrating a forward-thinking approach to fan engagement and digital culture, Walker announced the release of his official mobile app for iOS, developed by Monty Goulet. The app was designed to bring fans closer to Walker through interactive features, including exclusive video messages, classic clips, and updates about his live comedy performances. The app also included a Dyn-o-mite button, allowing users to hear Walker's signature catchphrase at the tap of a screen. By embracing mobile technology, Walker showed a savvy understanding of how entertainers could maintain relevance in the digital age, reaching both longtime fans and a new generation through innovative platforms. During a candid appearance on The Wendy Williams Show that aired on June 27, 2012, Jimmie Walker opened up about aspects of his personal life that had long intrigued fans and the media alike. In a refreshingly honest revelation, Walker stated that despite his fame and years in the spotlight, he had never been married and had never fathered children. This declaration surprised many viewers who had assumed that the charismatic actor, best known for his role as J.J. Evans on Good Times, had settled down at some point in his long career. Walker went on to clarify, however, that although he had not entered into matrimony or started a family of his own, he had been involved in numerous romantic relationships over the years. He humorously noted that he had enjoyed the company of many girlfriends, implying a robust and colorful dating history, but ultimately never found someone with whom he wanted to tie the knot. This disclosure reflected not only his independence, but also perhaps a deliberate choice to focus on his career and personal freedom rather than conventional family life. A few weeks later, on July 11, 2012, Walker made another headline-making appearance, this time on The O'Reilly Factor, a political commentary show on the Fox News channel hosted by the outspoken Bill O'Reilly. In that interview, Walker expressed his political views more openly than he had in the past. He stated, unequivocally, that he had not voted for Barack Obama in the 2008 presidential election, a position that surprised some, given Obama's historic status as the first African-American president. Furthermore, Walker declared that he had no intention of voting for Obama in the upcoming 2012 election either. His comments sparked discussion and debate, especially within the African-American community, where Obama enjoyed overwhelming support. Walker's stance reflected his deeply held individual beliefs and his desire to be seen as someone who does not vote along racial or partisan lines, but rather according to his own judgment. In a separate, more in-depth interview with CNN, Walker further explained his political ideology, describing himself as a realist independent. This label, he said, better captured his nuanced views, which often straddled party lines and did not align with any one political movement. Unlike many celebrities who endorse party platforms, Walker emphasized his commitment to realism over idealism. He openly opposed affirmative action policies, stating his belief that they had outlived their usefulness. He argued that while such measures may have been necessary and effective during the civil rights era, they had become counterproductive in the modern era, fostering resentment and undermining merit-based advancement. This view placed him at odds with many in the entertainment industry and within certain social justice circles, but Walker stood by his opinion, framing it as a matter of common sense rather than political ideology. Walker also discussed his views on one of the most contentious social issues of the time, gay marriage. He admitted that, on a personal and moral level, he was opposed to same-sex marriage. However, in a demonstration of his independent and pragmatic thinking, he simultaneously argued that its legalization should go forward. He believed that the push for marriage equality had become a matter of inevitable societal progress, and that the effort to resist it was not only futile, but also unnecessarily divisive. "It's not worth fighting against," he said, signaling his understanding of the broader movement for civil rights and inclusion, even if it conflicted with his personal beliefs. His willingness to separate his private convictions from public policy reflected a measured and mature approach to political discourse that stood out in a time of increasingly polarized debates. Now, at the age of 78, Jimmie Walker, best known for his iconic role as the wisecracking and exuberant J.J. Evans on the hit 1970s sitcom Good Times, has begun reflecting more candidly on the people and experiences that shaped his career and life. In a surprising and heartfelt revelation, Walker has finally chosen to speak openly about his often misunderstood relationship with his Good Times co-star Esther Rolle, the matriarchal force behind the character Florida Evans. For decades, rumors and speculation had swirled about a tense off-screen dynamic between the two stars. While their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, many fans were unaware of the profound creative and ideological differences that simmered behind the scenes. Esther Rolle was a deeply principled and classically trained actress who saw Good Times as a rare opportunity to present a strong, proud African-American family on primetime television, one that stood in contrast to the caricatures and stereotypes that had plagued earlier portrayals. She viewed the show as a social and cultural milestone and fought tirelessly for authentic storytelling. Jimmie Walker, by contrast, approached the show from a comedian's perspective. With his catchphrase, Dyn-o-mite, and his exaggerated humor, he quickly became the breakout star of the series, drawing huge laughs and a devoted fan base. But his rising popularity was a double-edged sword. While the audience loved him, Rolle saw his character's antics as a distraction from the show's deeper message and a regression to the very stereotypes she hoped to erase. For years, Walker remained mostly silent on their strained working relationship, often offering only neutral or diplomatic responses when asked about Rolle. However, now in his late 70s, he has begun to pull back the curtain, offering insights that are both honest and unexpectedly compassionate. In recent interviews and public appearances, Walker has acknowledged that there was real tension between him and Rolle, but he also expressed a deeper understanding of her concerns and a newfound respect for her integrity. Esther was tough because she cared, Walker admitted. She believed in the mission of the show. I didn't always see it that way back then. I was young, chasing laughs and enjoying the fame. But looking back, I can see she was fighting for something bigger. Walker also revealed that their disagreements were never personal in a malicious way, but rather stemmed from fundamentally different visions of what the show should be. He admitted that at the time, he didn't always grasp the weight of what Rolle was trying to achieve. She came from the stage, from drama and social change, he said. I came from the clubs, from punchlines and comedy. We were two different energies trying to make the same thing work. Despite the friction, Walker now credits Rolle for keeping the show grounded in authenticity and for demanding that the black family portrayed on Good Times be dignified, resilient, and real. In revisiting their history, Walker has also expressed regret that they were never able to truly reconcile during Rolle's lifetime. She passed away in 1998, and although the two maintained professional respect, there was a lingering distance that was never quite bridged. If I could talk to her now, Walker said solemnly, I'd tell her thank you for standing up for what she believed in, for teaching me even when I didn't want to be taught. She made Good Times matter. She gave it a soul. Jimmie Walker's reflections have not only offered fans a deeper understanding of the dynamics on Good Times, but also served as a powerful reminder of the complexity behind fame, collaboration, and the struggle to balance artistic vision with entertainment. His honesty at 78 reveals a man who, while still proud of his comedic legacy, is mature enough to recognize the sacrifices others made to protect the deeper meaning behind their work. In telling the truth about Esther Rolle, he is also telling the truth about himself, and in doing so, finally honoring the woman who helped shape one of television's most important and enduring shows.